The 1-2. Ortega drives one. Deep left field. No doubt about it. That's a grand slam for Max Ortega. He strikes again.
Season.
And the 1-2, he got him. Cutting and dicing him up like a freshly mowed lawn. Landry is through 4 clean innings. We head to the bottom of the 4th.
Remember with the 2-1. That is smacked in the left center field gap. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Contreras is hustling around second. He's around third. He's going to score with ease. The Titans have tied it up 1-1 as the crowd erupts here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Just a little over 44% strike rate. Here's that 3-1. That's lined into the left center field gap. Valdivia chugging around third. He's going to score. From one big boy to the next, the Royals have a 2-1 lead.
Howdy, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. It is country night, as you can tell. I'm Colin Costigan alongside Dylan Manos. And Dylan, what's it going to take for this Cal State Fullerton team to really show the Gauchos who runs this rodeo?
I really think it's going to be about grabbing the bull by the horns and taking this series.
We welcome you back to the top of the 6th inning here. Hope International leading 6-1. And for the Eagles, they were barely able to scrape across their second run of this series, and it came from the guy who's about to step up to the plate. The second baseman, Jake Locos, lined a nice base hit toward left field that dropped just in front of Hunter Asang and brought home their first run the afternoon, and is looking to try to start a rally this time.
The freshman had a great piece of hitting back in that 3rd inning when the Eagles pushed across their first and only run of the ball game so far today. Really barreled up Tilton.
That first off speed is in there on the outside corner for a strike. Looked like the slider, but with how slow that one moved, almost felt like it had the speed of a knuckleball.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll play with it a little bit with a 5-run lead here.
That one missed low and outside for ball 1. We talked about some of the major leaguers as well that we've seen. We mentioned David Morgan. Most recently, I actually got to watch him pitch a little bit for the Orange County Riptide this past summer before he was drafted in the 4th round. As that one misses way outside for ball 2. But it was Trey Seeley. He was the 14th round selection at the 416th pick from the San Francisco Giants, and he was an absolute amazing pitcher, one of the best they had in the Royals' history. Had a 23-4 record with a 2.72 ERA and 262 strikeouts. Set a single-season record with 1.72 ERA and 12 wins last season. He also threw the Royals' first ever 9-inning no-hitter, and he set a new career record for most wins with 23, and he ranks 2nd in strikeouts and 4th in ERA. And like I mentioned, he's the 5th Royal to ever be drafted and the 2nd under head coach Larry Mahoney. And he's the 4th Royals pitcher to be drafted after Hector Garcia was selected by the Twins in 2023. So wish him as he develops throughout the minor league system and potentially could become like David Morgan and reach the majors, become the 2nd Royal to ever do so.
Absolutely. 23-4. That's a phenomenal record for a pitcher.
So that 2-2 right there. Chopped diving play from Spencer. Can he get him? And no, late throw. Great effort from third base, but an even better job to hustle up the line from Locos, and he has his 2nd hit in this one.
Yeah, great play from Davis there. Moving to his left, diving out and stabbing that one. His throw across the diamond. Good pick over there by Moran, but not in time to cut down the speedy Locos. Like you mentioned, 2 of the 3 hits now for the Eagles have come from that number 2 spot in the order, and that'll bring up number 1 in Miles Murphy.
Takes that first one for a strike. I incorrectly mentioned that he'd had a hit in the first game of this series. He didn't, but what he did do was work 2 3-ball counts, and he did end up working a walk in that game. And then that's a wild pitch that is going to allow Locos to get himself into scoring position with nobody out. The first time the Eagles have been in this position. Be interesting to see what Tilton can do here. The graduate student faced adversity a couple times, but not with none out, and he tries to float. That one looked like the knuckleball right there. That one floated inside. Is just absolutely insane. The absolute unreal movement. He can't even describe it.
Yeah, it seems like he keeps going to it against these right-handed hitters, and it keeps floating on inside Had a few guys jump out of the way of those ones.
And goes back with the off speed again, and that one is fouled straight back into the fence. He's even 2-2. And we were talking about it a little bit. We've been good with our predictions for the most part, but what do you think he's going to go to here with the 2-2?
I think back-to-back off-speed pitches, he's got to go with the fastball here. Still has the ball to play with. I would expect the fastball up in the zone here.
See if he goes with the heater. The 2-2 instead, he drops in the off-speed. Looked like a beautiful knuckle curve right there.
We were bound to not get them all right, Colin, but a great pitch there from Tilton, really freezing Murphy on the pitch. And I hate to do this to you, but that was his 67th pitch of the ball game.
Well, if there ever is a time to get a punch out, timely pitch right there regardless. As that one is chopped over towards short. Isaiah Lane winds, fires over to Moran and retires for the second out, and then Locos will go up to third, but will now need a hit to bring in that runner.
It's really unfortunate that Murphy was unable to move Locos over to third because that ground ball would have produced a run. Eagles got to chip away any way they can. They really need a big 2-out hit here from Rosinski.
Rosinski can provide that for him. He's been a good bat for him this season, but is 0 for 2 in this one today with a couple ground outs as he looks at that first one in for a strike. Now with the 0-1, tried to drop that slider in there, instead skips it in there for ball one. And this was be a couple of firsts for him in this inning. They're just 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, but this was the first time they got the leadoff man on here in the 6th inning. Desperately needing anything they can get, be their first multi-run game of this series. He pounds the fastball in there for strike 2.
That fastball there from Tilton. Blowing it by Rosinski. Looks to the wristband, trying to figure out what to throw here with a runner on third and 2 down.
Head 1-2. Rosinski gets under that one and pops it up, heading towards the parking lot. And that one did not sound good. Not sure what that one hit, but somebody is definitely going to be footing the bill to Rosinski after that one. We're going to hope that that was the shipment container that they have out in right field, but that is very wishful thinking.
I don't think so, Colin. I have a little bit of a view of the parking lot here, and I'm pretty sure that landed on someone's vehicle.
Regardless, he blows the express right by him, doing damage to the parking lot and to the bats of the Eagles. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Royals still up 6-1.
Now going into the bottom of the 3rd inning, where the Gauchos still hold that early 1-0 lead over the Titans. But, Dylan, it's been exactly kind of what we thought. 2 high-power level pitchers. So far, it's been quite a pitcher's duel.
Yeah, we had the idea that it was going to be a pitcher's duel with Brenmer having 6 up, 6 down, and Negretti only facing 10 batters with that 1 home run. And here, you're just hoping you get some production from the bottom of your lineup if you're the Titans.
Now it's going to be Paul Contreras, batting .231 on the year, 5 homers, 22 RBIs. Takes that first pitch for strike 1. Yeah, and so far, the approach seems for Fullerton, at least, is to try to work the count, at least, especially against such a dominant pitcher in Bremner.
Yeah, it's all you can really do.
Right, and then there's that outside fastball again. Kind of the only blemish so far. Still hasn't even reached 30 pitches yet, but just hasn't been able to find the consistency on that fastball, at least on the outside part of the plate. Bremner winds, kicks. Contreras lines it. Oh, it takes a great carom off the bounce. Second base, and Contreras will find his way to first base for the first base runner for the Titans.
Yeah, and right there, you just see Jonathan Mendez kind of go at it a little slow, wait for the ball rather than attacking it, right? And it just bounces off his glove and dribbles out past the shortstop for the first base runner of the game for the Titans.
They are going to rule that a hit as it took an odd carom off Mendez's glove.
First hit of the game right there for the Titans.
And, you know, for a lot of the power in this lineup, it is also a team Dietrich does not mind with the small ball approaches as well.
Not at all with Marcos Rosales coming up to bat. First pitch strike from Brenmer.
Yep, and Rosales, unfortunately, has been a bit of a slump for himself. He's hitless in his last 7 games. Hasn't had one since back on April 13th against Oregon State.
Yeah, and even with that being the case, he still has an OBP of 384 and batting 254 with that slider going down and away for a 1-1 count. He's going to figure it out, right? He's not a bad hitter. He's somebody who will get there. It's just having a little bit of a slump.
Rosales is one of those strong power bats as well, has 6 homers on the year. Bremner winds, delivers outside, 2-1. Still cannot find the consistent rhythm with that fastball.
Yeah, and when it comes to those power hitters, you kind of have to live with the ebbs and flows of how their season's going to go, because when you're swinging with that much juice, you're bound to miss some barrels.
Checks on the runner at first. Bremner with the 2-1. That is smacked in the left center field gap. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Contreras is hustling around second. He's around third. He's going to score with ease. The Titans have tied it up 1-1 as the crowd erupts here in the bottom of the third.
Who said slump? Not us. Marcos Rosales drills that one into left center and scores the runner from first to get the game tied up.
And Rosales, I apologize. I was not familiar with your game. And you talked about it, Dylan, the bottom of the order coming through for the Titans. What an amazing hit that was.
And that's where you need to get production from your team, right? Your top half's going to figure it out, but if that first time through the lineup, the bottom of the lineup gets going, once the top gets going, it's going to be really hard for this UCSB team to fight.
Now center fielder Cam Burdick will get his first look at the plate today. Cam Burdick has raised his average up to 250 after kind of nearing it right around the Mendoza line earlier in the season. He squares around a bunt, pulls it back, but to much to the crowd's dismay, regardless, strike one.
You know, to me and the fans, that looked like a ball, but that's why we're up here and not calling the game, right, Colin?
Yeah, and it doesn't really seem to matter what the umpire does. They're always gonna find a way to hate on him. That one was certainly high. Now it is 1-1 the count.
Yeah, that one was a little higher up.
And Cam Burdick is 6 for his last 14 in his last 5 games. Squares around that bunt, rolls it right to Bremner, gets the job done, and Titans have a runner at third now.
And I love small ball. I think that is the way to go, especially against the staff like the Santa Barbara team. Move the runner over to third. Now you got one out and the top of your lineup up.
And this is a Cal State Fullerton team that really likes their sacrifice hits. They had 30 entering tonight's game. Now back to the top of the order for Eli Lopez. Grounded out over to third in his first AB. Chases the first pitch, down 0-1. Just that nasty breaking ball we keep seeing out of Bremner.
Yeah, and with the command issues he's had early, I'm not a big fan of chasing that first pitch, but also, like we said earlier, with his tunneling, that probably looked like a fastball out of his hand.
But if you're the Titans, I don't think you'd want that many other hitters up outside of Eli Lopez. Loves to get that ball in play as he takes outside 1-1. He's much a contact guy, just 1 homer on the year, but he's still batting .329, and he had a .300 batting average on the season last year with a team-high 32 runs, so he knows how to get his way on base.
There's very few players I would rather have at the plate with a runner on third. He is going to make contact with the ball most of the time in his at-bats.
1-1 is in there. Just catches the bottom of the corner, and he's down 1-2.
And right here, you're just fighting. If you're the batter, you're in a 1-2 count, 1 out and a runner on third. Just fight and get a piece of the bat on the ball and give your guy a chance to score.
The 1-2 outside, but Eli goes fishing. That is the 4th strikeout of the game for Bremner as there's 2 away. And you know, Dylan, this is something we have talked about pregame as well. The Titans with runners in scoring position has been a struggle for them of late.
Yeah, and if you notice, that first run came without runners in scoring position. And now you have Carter Johnstone up, who is batting .479 with runners in scoring position. So the perfect guy at the plate.
Titans' approach is certainly changing with runners on. Chases that first pitch. Now he's down 0-1.
You know, I think they really want to get to this team early and often. That's why they're, you know, swinging at these pitches that may not be strikes, but they are in their wheelhouse of hitting.
The 0-1 to Johnstone. Hits it down the left field line, but into foul territory, over into the Titans bullpen.
Got a good piece of that, was just a bit behind, and it just drifted foul.
Bremner trying to get some of the dirt out of his cleats. Just one strike away from getting out of this jam. The 0-2. Down in the dirt. Now 1-2. It's a great stop from Kelly right there. Correction, sorry. Check that, Vargas.
Yeah, I had to do a double take right there. It almost scooted away from him.
The 1-2 to Johnstone. Low again, even at 2-2. Good eye from Johnstone right there.
Really good job to bring this count back into his favor after the way the at-bat started.
Bremner about to deliver his 46th pitch of the ball game. He winds, he delivers, and it's high. Johnstone now works the count full.
Just a great job to slowly climb the ladder in this at-bat and see more pitches. We keep talking about needing to get Bremner's pitch count up, and they have it up to 46 in the third inning.
Carter Johnstone does have 21 walks on the season. He pops that one straight up in the air. That is certainly a big league fly. And he is retired. That was Xavier Esker for the third out. Bremner escapes the runner on third, one out jam. But the Titans even it up 1-1. We'll be right back here on ESPN Plus.